Hi and welcome to the channel. Well, if it's your first time here, my name's Andrew and thanks for joining me. If it's not your first time here, my name's still Andrew and thanks for coming back. Well, today I'm going to be looking at a set of ND filters which have been sent by Start RC, and these are going to be the ND16 and the ND64 and a CPL filter. Now, if you don't know what ND filters are, basically they're normally described as sunglasses for drones, and they limit the amount of light that hits the drone sensor. So in order to get smooth cinematic footage, you use what is known as the 180 rule. And this is where you set the exposure to twice that of your frame rate. So say for example, you've got your frame rate set to 30 frames a second, then you need your exposure set to 1/60th of a second. Similarly, if you've got your frame rate set to 60 frames a second, then your exposure should be set to 1/20th of a second. Now, trying to do this manually is very difficult if you haven't got perfect lighting conditions, and this is where the ND filters come in. So you get different strengths of filters which allow you then to lower that exposure rate to get the spot on value that you're looking for example 1/60th of a second. So as you know, I live in Wales and it's normally pretty wet, and this week is no exception because the rain's going to be set in for the next 5 days. So the video is going to be short and sweet, and I'm just going to do a quick unboxing of these filters from Start RC. I am planning on doing a full length video on how to use ND filters, and I'm going to put that link up here as soon as it's done. Now, if you did buy any of the combos from DJI for the Mini 5 Pro, you know that it comes with a number of ND filters, but it is lacking three major ones, and that's the ND16, the ND64 and the CPL filter. And this is where the ones from Start RC come in, because they will complement the filters you've already got and give you the complete set of filters that you need to go out in filming in any lighting conditions. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing, and I'm also going to go through exactly what a CPL filter does, because whereas all the other ND filters work in exactly the same way, a CPL filter is slightly different. So I'll show you the benefits you have for using that filter. So the filter set does come in this small, cleanly branded box. It's a pretty minimalistic design, just a Start RC logo and a clear note that is for the Mini 5 Pro. Can I get them out? Okay, so the first thing we got is just a normal plain cleaning cloth. And now we've got the ND filters themselves. So if you've got any of the combo kits, you do know that DJI supply 3 ND filters, being the 8, the 32 and the 128. But really that's not going to be enough for everyday use. And this is where the Start RC ones come in, because they supply the 16, the 64 and a CPL filter. So these are going to be the perfect companion to the other ND filters, because they do fit in the gaps that DJI don't provide for. So inside the box you can see we've got this nice hard carrying case, and I've got to be honest, it does feel definitely quite solid. You can squeeze it there and there's no giving it, so that's nice. It's definitely going to be pocket friendly and sturdy enough to toss into your drone bag without worrying. So opening it up, you can see that we've got the 3 filters, being the ND16, the ND64 and the CPL. So combined with the ones you get from DJI, you are going to have the perfect range for most lighting conditions. So if you're shooting on a nice sunny day, you'd need something like the ND16, and if you're going to go for very bright conditions, you're going to need something like the ND64. And also, if you're shooting anywhere where there's lots of snow and water, when there's tons of glare, you're going to need the CPL filter. So having a set like this means you're going to be fully covered for pretty much any lighting conditions. So they are going to give you a nice balanced exposure as well. So using the ND16 or the 64 or the CPL can provide a precise balanced exposure according to your drone's photography needs. So as you can see, each filter is clearly labelled on the rim, and they are made with multi-coated optical glass. Okay, so let's take one out. So taking a closer look, the build quality here is impressive. The frame itself feels durable, and it doesn't add any noticeable weight to the gimbal, because as you know, even the smallest changes can affect the gimbal balance on drones like the DJI Mini 5 Pro. The glass itself has an anti-reflective coating, and it's also scratch resistant, so that's going to be a nice touch. And they're also hydrophobic, so it's going to keep the filters nice and clean if you're out in the rain or any other harsh environments. And also they've got an anti-dust and anti-static coating, so that means that dust isn't going to be attracted to the actual lens itself, and that's going to ensure that you've got really nice clean HD imaging. Also, if you've got a case such as the superb waterproof case that Start RC also does, there's a space underneath the drone itself where you can store the ND filters safely and securely. And I've done a separate review of that case, and I'll put that link up here. If you find that useful so far, if you could do the like and subscribe thing, that would be great. Research shows that although lots of channels gets lots of viewers, only 1 in 10 actually clicks the like and subscribe, but doing that is the most important part. I've also got plenty of videos on the channel in relation to the DJI Mini 5, including hyperlapses, cruise control, waypoints, that type of thing, as well as other drones like the Mini 4 Pro, the Neo, the DJI Neo 2, as well as the Hover X1 Pro and Pro Max. So clicking that link would be greatly appreciated. So installing one is going to be super easy. Just make sure that the drone is powered off and that you're holding the gimbal steady. Then you're going to put it on the bottom of the gimbal and then just press it on slightly like that, and that's going to be nice and secure. There's not going to be any screws or anything like that needed. It's a friction fit design, so it's really straightforward. And then to remove it, it's just as easy. Just hold the gimbal, take from the top, pull up, and it just comes away like that. And there's no stress on the gimbal. And yes, you can still use the DJI gimbal protector when the filters are attached, so that makes it super convenient. So if you don't know what a CPL filter does, basically it reduces the amount of glare and reflections you've got going into the camera from a particular object, like say windows or water. So if I just turn this around and then I put that over the lens, you can see the reflection on my phone. And then if I just turn that, you can see that the glare totally disappears. And that's what the CPL filter does. So if you're out filming over water, or you're filming in a cityscape and there's lots of reflections of glass, then having a CPL filter is going to be ideal because it's going to reduce the amount of glare and give you really nice cinematic footage. Also, using a CPL will enhance the colour saturation and contrast of your footage, and it's going to make your colours pop, especially if you've got nice blue sky and white clouds. And obviously, because you've got the rotating gimbal on the DJI Mini 5 Pro, it works in all orientations, because it just means you've got to rotate the outer ring, and that's going to give you the effect whether or not you're flying in vertical or horizontal. Now, unfortunately, living in Wales, it's still raining, and it's going to be set to rain for the next week. So my plans are, I'm going to take these out as soon as I get a chance, and I'm going to give a full rundown and show you exactly how they work in lighting conditions, the difference they make when you've got them on your camera compared to being without them. And that's going to be in a separate video, and I'll put the link up on the screen for that as well. Okay, that's the end of the video. As I said, it's only a short one for the unboxing of these filters. There will be a longer video solely on using ND filters with the Mini 5 Pro, and that should be out hopefully this weekend, providing the weather improves. If you found it useful, as I said earlier, if you could do the like and subscribe and the notification bell. If you've got any questions in relation to the DJI Mini 4, the Mini 5, the DJI Neo or the Neo 2, or the Hover X1 Pro or Pro Max, let me know in the comments below, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. So thanks again, and I'll catch you soon.